Good morning, everyone. Graduates, students, friends, and families, everyone here this morning to celebrate your loved ones. My name is Evan Atkinson. I'm joined by Ayana Isles. We're doing a little pre-show this morning that's going to lead you right up until your 9 o'clock commencement, with the goal of just highlighting as many graduates as possible. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about the regalia that the students are wearing. We're going to go over important information on grad passes. But like I said, the most important thing is that we are here this morning to highlight as many graduates as possible. For people who can see online, people are starting to file in. It's starting to get filled up in here. You can start to feel the energy rise just a little bit. We are live from McCamish Pavilion here on Georgia Tech's campus. And as I said, I'm Evan Atkinson. I'm joined by Ayana Isles. And today is nothing without the students that are walking across the stage, and we know you all are going to be taking a lot of great photos, right? We want to see those photos online. Ayana, tell them how they can get connected.
That's right, Evan. It's early this morning, but we know you guys are taking selfies, and we want to see commitment from your eyes. So take those pictures and tag us at Georgia Tech on all platforms. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Facebook, and then use the hashtag GT23 and hashtag Rambling On.
All right, you guys heard Ayana. The hashtags are GT23 and hashtag Rambling On. But it's actually not just me and Ayana today. We're actually joined by a couple other members of our team. We're going to send it over to Tyler and Siobhan.
Thanks, Evan and Ayana. Yeah, I'm here with Tyler, and this is a very, very exciting day, isn't it?
It sure is. I'm so excited to see these graduates cross the stage and meet so many of our current students.
Yeah, and like Evan said, throughout the whole entire pre-show, we're going to also hear wonderful stories of our graduates and get to know them a little bit more and give you a little bit more of in-depth detail on what commencement is going, what special things in commencement are happening. And I think we have our first student graduate ready for his story to be told. Aren't we?
Okay, so as Siobhan said, it's about that time to introduce you to our first student. Let's get it started. We're going to introduce you to Paula.
I always wanted to live abroad and travel. I am a certified teacher here in the state of Georgia for ESOL and Spanish. And I wanted to increase my education. I chose Georgia Tech because the amount of international students. And number two, the program will last only a year. So for me, it was kind of vital to have a program that will give me the resources that I needed within a year. The Global Media and Cultures degree, it's quite interesting. You can pretty much, build everything that you want to study, basically. In my case, I decided to pursue research, linguistics, a little bit of journalism, a little bit of film and documentary. My documentary was related with how did I adjusted to the Atlanta culture through a karaoke bar that had a live band related with metal music. I do a comparison between the rock culture of people here and people in Chile, and why heavy metal, it's so broad, and why we can use that genre for multiple reasons. In the case of Chile, we went through a very long time of dictatorship, and that marked my country in a very strong, not so positive way. That's why Chile is a big fan of metal. You're always learning. I don't think you ever stop learning. So after being here at Georgia Tech, I feel more confident. I applied for public policy. Might be a very ambitious goal, but we shall see what happens.
Okay, you guys just learned a little bit about Paula. I am here with her live. So Paula, I have to ask you, you earned your degree in global media, correct? Why earn that degree?
Well, I have a passion for learning languages, and this particular degree has a multiple content, not only for bilingual people, but also linguistics, journalism. I learned how to create a documentary for my thesis, and I also did some research. So it's very broad. It's pretty much, what you decide to make out of it. and mainly international affairs, everything that helps you out connect with the rest of the world, pretty much.
Good, that's awesome.
You're originally from Chile and you're far away from your family and home. What are some things you found like home here in Atlanta? Like, how did you make Atlanta your home?
Well, mainly music, and this is very different. The whole culture, it's very different. You know, I have a Hispanic background, so this is very, very different. But music has definitely made it a lot better for me, and the friends that I have made, you know, through the arts have definitely made a difference.
Okay, I have to ask you, as Ayana said, you're originally from Chile. Do you have a favorite thing about Georgia Tech? Now that you've been here for a little bit, you've studied, you know, do you have a favorite thing that you think you'll miss after crossing the stage today?
A favorite thing or a favorite?
It could be anything about Georgia Tech. It could be the campus, it could be your classmates, it could be anything that you just think you'll be missing.
Well, related with music, I sang for the choir. I was part of the choir for Georgia Tech. We know we recently sang, you know, for Thanksgiving with the Atlanta Symphonic Orchestra. And I feel very grateful. I feel very lucky to have met so many people in the music field, and also very lucky to be part of the leadership coaching. I was a coachee last year. I'm a coach this year. And thank you, Stacey Dormos.
No, that's amazing. And, you know, I assume you have some people who are here in the audience, or some people who are watching online right now. We always want to give you the chance to say hi to anybody who may be here supporting you or online, or anybody you might want to say thank you to.
Well, thank you to my friend Miguel and Manet that might be somewhere in here. And then, Atención Chile. Atención Chile, I'm going to say this in Spanish. Un saludo para mi abuela, Rosa, para mi mamá, Virginia, y para mi tío, que me están viendo somewhere in there, in the streaming realm. Thank you so much. Los quiero mucho. Muchas gracias. Love you.
That's amazing. So that was our first student of the day. That's Paula. But right now, we're going to send you over to Tyler and Siobhan, who are going to have another student there for you.
That's right. I'm here with Alan, and I couldn't resist. I saw your graduation cap here, and it looks so cool. Can you tell me a little bit about what this design is for?
Oh, so like the states on the side are just places my family has lived. We had a capstone project with our team Air Force Ones with the F-15. This was like a Hyundai dealership internship. But this is the rec racing type S10. That was a Chevy S10 from early 2000s with an Acura V6 in the back with a supercharger. And we participate in the Grassroots Motorsports Challenge, which is you take a budget of $2,000, design a race car from scratch, and then race it in Florida.
Wow, so you said rec racing, you have a $2,000 budget to build a car. I can't believe you guys even got a car to run for that much money. How much work is involved in getting that car to run and then actually race?
It's kind of like a 2-3 year build process. So the first time it runs, not everything will be like fully in there and everything. But yeah, so we have like the 3-year builds process, but usually the cars stick around for about 5 years.
Wow. So how many people are involved in that build and that race? Like, I imagine you need a pretty big club to do all of that.
Yeah, in terms of membership, I think we have like 70 people on the roster, but like 30 regulars.
Wow, that's so cool. And then you also pointed out the F-15 there. That was for a capstone project, is that right?
Yes.
So what did you guys build with that?
So our team, the Air Force Ones, designed a flushing system for the fuel oil heat exchanger for the F-15 platform. And we took it to Expo this semester.
Wow, that's so cool. Sounds like you've done some really great things here at Tech. Before we let you go and graduate, is there anyone in the stands or back home who you'd like to shout out or say hello to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me all the way through there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're going to head back to the board and meet another one of our students.
Like Evan said, we are going to highlight as many student stories as we can today. So we have another student up here. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you're studying?
Yeah, my name is Sean Alexander, and I'm a fifth year graduating business administration.
And why business administration? Why did you choose that degree?
I think it's the best way to get people to come together to do work. I really love bringing people together, and through Scheller, what they taught us, we're able to bring businesses together, people, resources, and make something happen.
So you were involved with Ramblin' Royalty while you were here. I believe you might have actually won. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that experience was like? Because for me, homecoming. And so what made you want to even do Ramblin' Royalty in the first place, right? I'm assuming you have to like put your name in or maybe get nominated. Like what made you even want to be a part of it in the first place?
Yeah, so I saw it my first year, and then a few years later, I was like, maybe up for me to apply. I saw a lot of amazing student leaders before me. I wanted to help represent that, continue forward, and passing on the torch to the next generation of student leaders on campus.
And
It's time to actually hear a little bit from our Alumni Association. So we're going to send you to a video to learn a little bit more. Okay, that is a word from our Alumni Association. My name is Evan Atkinson. I am here with Ayanna Isles. For anybody who's just now walking into the arena or joining online, we are Commencement Live. We're just doing a little pre-show to lead you right up until the start of commencement at 9 o'clock. We're all here today to celebrate our loved ones. We're here to highlight graduates, right? Because that is why we are here today. We are here to see your loved ones cross this stage and get their hard-earned diploma. But as I mentioned earlier, what is today without photos, right? I know I'm on social media. I know I'm always taking pictures. Ayanna, tell everybody how they can get connected.
yeah, we want to see those selfies. We want to see those family photos. Evan works on our social media team, so he's always monitoring our channels. Tag us in those photos. At Georgia Tech is the handle. Use those hashtags, hashtag Ramblin' On and hashtag GT23.
As you heard, it is hashtag Ramblin' On and hashtag GT23. But I think that's it for us right now. Like we said, we're going to introduce you to as many students as we can today. And I think it's time we introduce you to our next student, Brendan Banks.
Once I saw the scholarship and the offer, I was just like, I can't pass this up. Georgia Tech is a school that can change lives. First generation graduates, like that's something that I can pass up. 100%. I knew I wanted to do this. I checked out the business program, and I saw it was one of the best in the country, and I knew that's what I wanted to pursue. I've always been about business, I think. I just like, I feel like I'm a businessman, I'm a people person, I can talk to people. I was always good at marketing, and that's my concentration here. So it was just something I was always good at and something I wanted to continue. Yeah, I did a lot of work in high school to like be able to set myself up as best as I could. And coming into Georgia Tech, I already had a few credits. I took 6 classes every semester. I took a full summer schedule as well, and I just worked as hard as I possibly could to graduate and to like to be the best in my class and to be the best person I could be. The crazy thing is I'm graduating in 2.5 years' time. I graduated extremely fast, and so in my first year, that's when I started working with the Falcons. So in my second semester of my first year at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has a great career system, and I was on there and I was just like kind of looking through different things in sports, and I saw the Atlanta Falcons had a marketing position open, and I applied to it and I reached out. Georgia Tech on my resume was the first thing that the hiring managers with the Falcons said they saw, and that's It's how it came about. So I was always been a sports guy, and just working there, that was like kind of my dream to be in college, like working with the NFL team and like kind of learning the NFL business. And that's something that Georgia Tech blessed me with. So I was in marketing. I was out in the field at first, and just like meeting people, trying to talk to people about the team and get people engaged on what's going on next year and everything. Then after that, I was promoted into like a little position of leadership. I hired the next team. So the people that like hired me, I was the part of that group the next year, the next go around. So I was able to meet new people and bring new people in and join the team. I met with the VP and the experiential manager like on a weekly basis, and we just talked about different things in marketing, like improve about the team. So it was a great experience, man. Something I'll never forget. And it's amazing. It's not even just, but I can't just take all the glory for myself. Like I had a team. Like my family's always been there for me. I had an awesome girlfriend who like just held me down throughout the whole process and everything. And it's just like it's an amazing feeling. Like this is not something I'm just gonna celebrate by myself. This is a group thing, man. I gotta celebrate with everybody. It's Georgia Tech. Everybody knows like you can't just come here, man. I worked so hard to get here, and I worked so hard throughout the process. It's been an amazing experience, and I take a lot of pride in being able to graduate from here. Call myself a yellow jacket.
Okay, I am here. Oh, okay, we got a little shout out in the crowd for Brendan here, right? I am here live with Brendan Banks. You mentioned in the video that you get your degree here in business. I just had to ask you again, why get a degree in business? So there's so many options of degrees you can choose here at Georgia Tech.
So I feel like I've always been like a businessman. I got it from my dad, and I was always good at business classes, so I came here and I was like, I'm gonna handle business and be a business major.
So also in the video, you mentioned that you had an internship with the Atlanta Falcons, right? So I have to ask, the Falcons have a matchup against the Panthers, right, this Sunday. What are you thinking? An easy win for the Falcons, or you think it's gonna be a little tough for them?
Man, it's gonna be an easy win. They're gonna handle business like I handle business, and they're gonna take care of business, so yeah.
Speaking of handling business, you've been here for just 2.5 years, right? So you graduated pretty quickly. And as a first-generation graduate, I assume you had to put a lot of hard work in to get here. How does it feel to actually see the culmination of your hard work and know that in just a couple of hours you're going to be crossing the stage and getting your degree?
It's amazing, man. It's dream come true, but it's only step one. I feel like I got a lot more work to do and a lot more that I want to accomplish. So I feel like it's just step one.
Okay, and speaking of more work to be done, after this, you're gonna have to figure out, what's next for you, right? So I have to ask, you did the last couple of years really quickly, but do you know what's next, or are you kind of still figuring that out?
So I'm still figuring it out. I got a bunch of offers on the table. I'm gonna figure something out within the next week, month or so, and I'll let you know then.
Okay, perfect. And I already heard some cheers in the audience, but we want to give you a chance to thank the people here, people online who are supporting you. I'm actually going to get on this other side because I think your family's over here. But anybody that you might want to give a shout out to or say thank you to, want to make sure you get that opportunity.
Okay, yeah. So my cousin Alea Banks is here. My uncle Ramon Banks. My sister Kiara Easley. My mom Keisha Banks. My dad Brendan Banks, and my girlfriend Amaya Hunt is here. So I just want to tell them I appreciate them for coming and always being there for me.
That's amazing. Brandon said he can't do it without family, and I think that's the same for a lot of other people. But that's just another one of our amazing, great students that we're highlighting today. But I think right now we're actually going to send you over to Tyler and Siobhan to learn about today's students' regalia.
Yes, I have two wonderful models for me. All of our graduates today are wearing fantastic cap and gown regalia. And an interesting fact about all of this regalia, they are, even though they are black, they are very, very green. Each student regalia is 100% made of recycled plastic bottles sourced from landfills. And there are about 23 to 27 bottles in each cap and gown. And as you can see, there are different gowns for different degrees. So for our masters, you will see the sleeves are actually long and pointed. That's one differentiation. And then also the hood that our wonderful model Sky is wearing is representing her major. And for our bachelors over here, Miss Amari, she is wearing two different wonderful, fantastic looking scarves to represent her student organizations. So Amari, tell me about a little bit of your student organizations you were part of.
So this pink and green stole is for my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. We were the first black sorority founded at Howard University in 1908, and we love to serve our school and our community.
That is fantastic. Now tell me, ladies, how excited are you for today?
Super excited. so excited.
Oh, wonderful. And I know you probably have some family here today. What do you like to say to them?
I just want to say hi, Mom, Dad, Sydney, and my loving husband, Tyler. I love you guys so much.
And you, Amari?
I want to say hi, guys. Thank you guys for supporting me throughout college, and I love you so much.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. And as you can see, support is very important to our students, but also to tech as well. And we'll give you a little bit of a taste of how much that support means to us with our Transforming Tomorrow campaign.
Our students are different.
The current students at Georgia Tech are the future of our world.
All they need is for someone to support them, and they can create whatever it is that the world needs for them to create.
We're the top source of STEM talent in America. We produce the most women engineers in America. We produce the most aerospace engineers in America. We have that local, national, global impact.
Georgia Tech really prepares you for that real world next step.
It gives me a ton of confidence to know that what I'm learning, I'm going to be able to apply. When I go to class, I know that the things that I'm going to be learning are beneficial, and so it makes me want to pay attention more. It makes me want to ask questions.
There's an emphasis on what you're doing with your scholarship. How are you involved in campus? How are you involved in the community? Being a leader is about what you're giving back. It's about investing in others.
Every student, no matter how bright and capable they are, they still need an opportunity to be a human being, not just a human doing. When we involve our broader Georgia Tech community, I think there's a really good opportunity to really make a meaningful, measurable change.
And if we give them the right tools and right resources, we know that our students really can change the world in a whole bunch of different ways.
It's going to be the grandchildren of the students that we're giving these opportunities that someday will benefit from all of this.
I am absolutely glad that I decided to come here.
Transforming Tomorrow.
The campaign for Georgia Tech.
Okay, I am here with another one of our amazing graduates. Can you just introduce yourself and tell everybody what you studied here at Georgia Tech?
Yeah, so my name is Shawnee. I am a computer engineering major with a minor in psychology.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But while you were here at Georgia Tech, you were involved with GT Swim and I believe boxing. To me, those are kind of two very unique sports to get into. Not the things you usually hear, you know, soccer, basketball, whatever. How did you get into like GT Swim and especially like GT boxing?
Yeah, so I grew up swimming. I've been swimming since I was about 6 years old and decided to like jump right into it in college. But then my fourth year, I was like, I want to do something new. And boxing was the most random thing. So that was my something new.
I think that's amazing. I think trying something new is always great for everybody.
All right, Evan, we've been talking about support and talking about photos all day. I think I see your mom right there. We're gonna turn really quick and let's pose for a picture so she can get it. All right. Make sure you tag us in that photo. Okay, we're gonna get back into questions. So you're really involved on campus. How did that campus involvement shape your time here on campus?
I definitely think like being involved on campus really made Georgia Tech feel like home. Being able to like walk into a space and see like recognizable faces, just like totally increased that community feel, and it like makes me so excited to like walk across the stage with all of these people.
Okay, so I have to ask you what's next. I believe you already know what your job is going to be and where you're going. So why don't you let everybody in the audience know what you have going on next?
Yeah, so next August, I'm moving to Texas to work for Capital One. So I'm definitely going to need a good pair of cowboy boots soon.
Okay, a pair of cowboy boots. I think those will definitely be perfect in Texas. And we already kind of saw your mom over here, but you might have other people here that you might want to say hi to or someone online that you might want to thank. We're going to give you that opportunity, of course, to say thank you or I love you to anybody who's supporting you today.
Yeah, for sure. My mom is here, my dad is here, both aunts on my mom and my dad's side, and then just like all of my friends in the crowd, and just like thank you guys. You guys have made Tech what amazing place it is, so.
All right, y'all, you guys just heard from Shawnee, but I think right now we're going to introduce you to another student who's right across the floor with Siobhan.
Thanks, Evan. Yes, I have Fernando here with me. And Fernando, you actually have a very interesting journey here to Tech. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Thank you very much. So back in 2021, I went over to transfer. I received a transfer pathway from Georgia Tech, and one of the last things I had to do was go and take a CLEP exam for chemistry. I had an exact score of 50, and ever since then, I've been realizing how much of a miracle it's been since I've been here to Georgia Tech.
That is fantastic. And you know, being a transfer student, I'm sure there was different challenges and trying to get accustomed over here. Tell me a little bit how you made a community here at Tech and the programs that you're a part of.
Well, there's many communities that I have to thank. There's Georgia Tech Transfer Boys. There's Lasso, my friend group back in high school, Capstone, Emmy 2110, Georgia Tech Europe as well. I could go on and on. Werewolves, the SLS France.
Well, you mentioned GT Europe. Tell me of some of the memories. I can imagine the experiences you've had.
Well, in GT Europe, it's honestly phenomenal. I've been skating. I climbed mountains. I've been to Spain and got to speak my mother's language. Just all of that is a phenomenal thing that I honestly feel I will be forever grateful to have.
That is amazing. And speaking of your family, do you have people supporting you today that you want to go ahead and give a shout out to?
Well, there's a lot of people that, my siblings for one, all of my parents, all of my friends here at GT. I am treasuring these final moments as a student because going forward, I am going to be a prophet. And I am very hopeful for the future, but there is so much that has to be done. And I thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to graduate here.
That is a fantastic, fantastic thing. Congratulations, Fernando. And now on to you, Ayana. I think you have someone on the stage as well.
That's right, Siobhan. We have a student up here. Introduce yourself and tell us what your major was.
Hi, my name's Kulsum, and I completed a master's in cybersecurity from Georgia Tech here.
And why get a master's and why in cybersecurity?
So I chose cybersecurity because I was working in IT before I decided to return to school, and I have always had a passion for public service, and I always wanted to give back to society, and so I merged my passion and my IT skills and put it together. And cybersecurity is definitely not just a career choice for me. It's something I want to do because it's my commitment to a higher purpose.
And why Georgia Tech?
It was first on my list and last on my list. If I didn't get in this time, I'd apply again next year. So no more choices.
All right, that's right. First and only pick. Okay, and what are you most excited about today?
Honestly, I still can't believe this is happening because I had so many memories with all my wonderful friends right here. It feels surreal because part of me feels like, okay, thank God the late night study sessions are over, but then I know there isn't going to be another spring break trip to Miami again. And so it's definitely hard to believe, but I'm really glad I'm going to be a part of the Yellow Jacket family forever.
That's right. Yellow Jacket Family Forever is solidified today. So anybody you want to shout out, anybody online, anybody in the arena, give them a shout out.
Absolutely. I want to thank my family who drove down from Tennessee last night. Thanks for being here to celebrate with me. Thank you for my family watching me in Texas and my dad watching me all the way in Pakistan.
All right. Today is about the students. So let's watch another package of another student.
Music has always been a really big part of my life, and that was something I wanted to continue at Tech. So I joined an a cappella group, I was in jazz band, and then COVID hit, and all those kind of shut down for a little bit. And when I got back to campus, I was looking for something different, because when I was home, I had started playing around a bit with some minor guitar building and a little bit of music writing. And I decided that I could keep those as my music activities, but I wanted to find something that was something I could only do at Tech. And for me, that was the Invention Studio. And everyone I met here was not only incredibly talented and smart, but were also really nice and open. As soon as I started the PI checklist to become a PI, I was already planning out my guitar build that I was gonna do here. There was no separation for me between like joining studio and immediately guitar building. Guitars are a very interesting project because it is one that you can like kind of plan from start to finish immediately. It always starts with like the wood. So for me, I find that that's the place where I have the most creative freedom, and I've really wanted to hone my skill on that as much as possible while I've been here. And then the other components, it's a big Excel spreadsheet with a list of part names and links and prices. Once you have that body, that's really where it all starts to come together. Since I'm half Japanese, that's something that I carry with me every day. And I always try to find ways to, bridge my heritage and who I am now. You can see there's the clear Japanese influence in them. But I think it's funny because, electric guitar is, very classic American rock and roll type thing. If I ever describe myself as a musician, it's always vocalist and trumpet player before everything. But now I've kind of picked up a bunch of different instruments. I play some piano, I play some bass, I play some guitar. And this is all in service of me writing music. I found that that's what makes me happiest with music. That's something I've grown into at Tech. And if I could play anything on guitar, it would be bossa nova. I think that's so pretty, but that's also very difficult. So we'll see if I ever get there. Yeah, I think it's really interesting at Tech because people are so talented at the STEM side that the art side gets lost. Not because they're not talented at it, but because we're so busy highlighting, hey, this guy built this injection molder, or this person worked on this spaceship that's going to Mars. But it's very much in the culture, I think kind of everywhere. You might have to dig a little bit deeper to get it out of some people, but I mean, even at my time at studio, it comes across in everything. Through the designs that you see that people are building or 3D printing, you can always kind of keep an eye out and you'll see some really creative, some really artful stuff being done.
All right, I'm here with Koji Shimada, and this is a very special interview for me too, because Koji's actually been my roommate for the last couple of years, so excited to see you cross the stage, celebrate graduation. And obviously I know this from the years together, but what made you decide to build guitars yourself in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I was always looking for some way to combine the engineering and the arts and the music, and I found that guitar building was a really good way to do that. And it was something that I began as a COVID hobby when I was struggling for things to do at home. And then when I came back and I had the facilities here, all of a sudden it was a whole new world that opened up for me.
Yeah, so you spoke about the facilities. I know you're part of the Invention Studio. How did that play a part in building these guitars?
I mean, without the Invention Studio, none of them could have been built. So I think I could say it's pretty much thanks to the Invention Studio that I was able to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and how many have you built? Do you know a rough estimate?
I hate to admit this on camera. I think it's about 6 that I've built, but it's all of them I've learned something new. They've all been different. I've had a great time building them.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I don't want to make you pick, but do you have a favorite or a couple favorites?
God, it's like Sophie's Choice, honestly. I think the most recent ones I've done have been my favorites, because that's really been me kind of inventing the process, and I don't think you'll find another guitar like them anywhere else. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've loved seeing them. I know we got to see a couple on the board earlier, but you've done a fantastic job on them. While you're here, before we let you go, is there anyone out on the stage or online who you'd like to say hi to?
Yeah, of course. I want to say thank you to all my friends who have been here throughout the 4 years, and of course to my family who are up in the stands, some online. And I also want to give a shout out to my girlfriend. We met freshman year. We've been dating ever since. She's also graduating today with a degree in chemical engineering. So congrats to you, Julia.
Great. Well, congratulations, Koji. Got to give you a hug for congratulations. And we're going to toss back to the stage for another interview.
Okay, that was Koji Shimada. He's actually doing some pretty cool stuff, but someone else who's done some pretty cool things is Amy Stone, who I'm with now. But before we get into too much, I have to ask you, you don't have just one, not two, but this is your 3rd Georgia Tech degree, the rare triple jacket. Why? Why come back for a 3rd degree?
Georgia Tech's the best, and you get more of what's so good.
Well, I know that had to be challenging, right? You've been on and off from school for a while now. Just talk about what it was like balancing school and just your personal life as well, especially over this time period.
Yeah, it's been 17 years from start to finish, and we've welcomed 3 kids to our family since then. So it's been a weave of architecture degree, more kids, MBA, another child, and I'm so excited to be at the finish line with them.
That's amazing.
Speaking of architecture, you worked on a really cool project, the building Candida. Can you tell the audience a little bit about Candida, but then also tell them about what your favorite feature is in the building?
The Candida building for innovative sustainable design is all about sustainability and innovation. It's a living building. It generates more energy than it uses, and it's really a lesson in sustainability and what you can do with the built environment.
And what was your favorite feature about the end product? Candida building is beautiful, but what's your favorite feature of the building?
It is a light-filled space that really shows off its structural system with the mass timber. You go in there and you see wood. You can feel how good the space feels with that material, and it's really incredible.
Okay, so you mentioned your family earlier. I have to ask, you said this is your third Georgia Tech degree and you have 3 kids. As someone who has a 6-month-old at home, only 1 kid, what's harder, raising 3 kids or getting 3 degrees from Georgia Tech?
You're doing great. Way to go with your 6-month-old. Challenges are challenges, and to each their own. I am really excited to be done with this degree and to be able to spend more time with my family and not pull them into all of my homework assignments. But 6 months old they're a blessing and a challenge.
I couldn't agree more. But you mentioned your family, like I said. I'm sure people are here in the audience supporting you and watching online. It's that chance that you get to say hi or say thank you to anybody that you want to that may be out there supporting you.
Absolutely. To those who are here, London, Jay, Ansel, Lauren, Dad, and Dana, I'm so glad you're here with me.
Okay, guys, that is Amy Stone. And I mentioned it earlier that commencement is one of my favorite times of the year, but another one of my favorite times of the year is homecoming. Right now, let's take a little look back at the Mini 500.
We have a few small steps until graduate. We have a few quick steps before graduation is officially going to begin. So we're going to do a quick rundown of what it'll look like to actually cross this stage. And the most important thing is make sure you have your grad pass pulled up. You all have your QR code, and that's how we're going to make sure your name is called and ready to cross that stage. So when it's your time to come up to the stage, you'll line up, have that grad pass ready. Pro tip, make sure to screenshot it. That way you don't have to rely on pulling it up. the Wi-Fi not working, go ahead and have it ready. Make your brightness go all the way up. You'll come, and when it's your time, we'll scan the grad pass. And then you're going to wait till you hear a little beep boop. Once you hear that sound, you're good to start walking up stage. You'll follow the instructions, everyone. Put your phone away. And then they'll tell you, go ahead. And that's your time. You smile, you do your little wave, you shake President Cabrera's hand. Thank you so much. He gives you your degree, and it's your time to walk down the other side of the stage. Before you go, there's a couple of photo op opportunities down here. You'll have some little foot plates. We'll come right over here. Smile for the camera, do a little smile, and then you head back to your seats, and we'll sit back down. So those are the few small steps you have left to get ready for graduation. Make sure you have that grad pass ready, and you'll be good to go for graduation. Evan, are we ready to get this show started?
We are almost ready, but I hope you guys heard Tyler, right? That was really important information. You guys, make sure your grad passes are out. When you get in this line over here, make sure you got that screenshot of your grad pass. Make sure your screen brightness is up, because it's gonna make everything much more efficient as possible. And like Tyler said, when they scan your grad pass, you will hear a beep. That's how you know you're good. But we'll have plenty of people along the way that will really help you out. And as Tyler said, we're getting really, really close to kicking off this commencement morning. But I do have to ask, right? I think, Ayanna, this is your first time coming to a commencement in McCamish, right? You've been to the ones in Bobby Dodd. I think it's the same for most of you all. But I'm going to have to ask each of you, what are you most looking forward to on a commencement day, maybe even here in McCamish?
Yeah, so for commencement, it's the energy for me. You see all these families and friends and support, and you just know that this time is being like celebrated. So it's just the energy, even in the morning, even at 9 o'clock, we got lots of energy. We're excited for graduates.
For sure. Mine would probably be hearing all of the support from the family members as each graduate comes and gets their degree. So I would suggest make it like a sound contest. Which family member can scream the loudest for their graduate? I would love to hear it.
Nice. We have some starting right now. Woo! Awesome.
Yeah, like they've said, the energy is great. My favorite part of graduation this year, though, is that I'm joining you at 2 p.m., and I'll also be walking the stage, so I'm ready to join you. Feel this enthusiasm, feel this excitement, and it's finally our time to get out of here.
You all heard it. Tyler will be also graduating today, just in the afternoon ceremony. And before we get out of here, just one last plug. We mentioned social media earlier, but we know that you all are going to be taking pictures of your loved ones. We want to make sure we see them out there. You're going to put them online. Ayanna, just one last time, make sure you let everybody know what the hashtags are and how to connect with us.
All right, here's our time. Take those photos, tag us at Georgia Tech on all platforms, and use those hashtags. Hashtag GT23, hashtag Ramblin' On.
All right, you guys heard it. It's hashtag GT23 and hashtag Ramblin' On. But I think it's about that time for us to kick off the show, get all your loved ones across the stage, and grab those diplomas. It's time for our fall 2023 Saturday morning commencement.
Welcome to Georgia Tech's Fall Commencement. Students, please rise for the faculty processional.
Good morning and welcome. Buenos días, bienvenidos. Please rise and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please be seated. My name is Angel Cabrera, and I have the privilege of serving as Georgia Tech's president. Before we get started today, I would like for us to take a moment to recognize all veterans, active duty members, and first responders with us today. If you have served in any branch of the U.S. military or have served as a first responder, please rise so we can thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you so much. Graduates, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, families, and friends, my heart is full as I welcome you to the 265th commencement exercises at the Georgia Institute of Technology. It is a true pleasure to be together in celebration of these graduates and their academic achievements. We have a few special messages for you today. The first one is from one of our graduating students. And I am pleased to introduce Kojo Bikoi Saki and his fan club, a bachelor's degree candidate in aerospace engineering who will give the reflection. Kojo?
Good morning, friends, family, faculty, and members of the Georgia Tech community. At Georgia Tech, there are quite a few unique traditions that surround the letter T. If you know, you know, but as I reflect on my undergraduate experience, I cannot think of a better letter to represent anyone who calls themselves a yellow jacket. We are technical. In addition to a rigorous curriculum, many of us have also participated in research. We've worked in multidisciplinary teams. We've been involved in clubs that build rockets, robots, and everything in between. We are entrepreneurs and inventors. Honestly, anything you can think of, we're probably doing it. And if you can't think of it, we're probably doing that too. As alumni, we will continue to apply the technical skills acquired at this institution to some of the world's toughest problems. I guess you could say we put the tech in technical. We are talented, not only in academics. Some of us can comprehend quantum physics and complex choreography, solve simultaneous equations, and sing like an angel. We are designers with clothing brands, athletes repping the white and gold across the country. We are photographers, pilots, advocates, actors, influencers, instructors. The list goes on and on. In addition to working toward a degree, we also continue to develop and perfect our craft in multiple facets of life. We are tenacious. Simply put, we don't give up. While we are students, life still happens. We have not only survived the sleepless nights, the tears, the mental breakdowns, and of course, education in a global pandemic, but we held fast to our dreams, our goals, and to each other. The camaraderie built during 2 a.m. cookout runs, 3 a.m. conversations walking back from the library, laughing in the dining halls, and screaming your head off in Bobby Dodd Stadium, rain or shine. These hard moments and moments of joy are all treasures that we share with one another, which helped us endure to the end. Today, we are triumphant. We made it. This is where you cheer. But did you know about the secret power that lies within the letter T? You see, if we slide the horizontal line to the center of the vertical line, the T becomes a plus symbol. And I've always loved addition. It was so simple to me until I was taking a thermodynamics exam and had to double check that 2 + 2 is indeed 4 in my calculator. But as I reflect on our time at Georgia Tech, I believe there's no better mathematical symbol to represent the power we have as Yellow Jackets. Addition brings things together. It combines values to make something greater than either individual number could be on their own. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what about negative numbers? And to that, I say it's a metaphor, so bear with me. Graduates, today I want to remind you that much like the letter T, inside of us lies the power of addition. So as we continue to the next phase of our journey, I encourage you to be the plus sign in whatever space you find yourself. Let us be the ones who not only add to this world, but bring people together in the process. I'd like to thank a few people this morning, real fast. I'd like to first thank God, because without him, none of this would be possible. I'd like to thank my parents, Nana and Mavis Bukwisechi, and my siblings, Nana Jr. and Asada, for supporting me no matter what. I'd like to thank my high school teacher, Mrs. Davis, for flying across the country to watch me walk today. I'd like to thank the Georgia Tech student ambassadors and Aero Afro Astro for giving me the opportunity to develop as a young professional and a leader on campus. And I'd also like to thank the faculty and staff of the Daniel Guggenheim School of Aerospace Engineering, the best aerospace engineering school in the world. We can talk rankings all we want, but we know it's true. If you want to be an engineer, you come here. And lastly, I'd like to thank my friends, because without them, I would not be here today. So I love you guys. I love you all. And all that's left for me to say is, go Jackets. Thank you.
Thank you, Kojo. Thank you. So graduates, today you will be joining a very impressive family of Georgia Tech alumni, a community of leaders, innovators, thinkers, and doers who are making a difference across our state and around the world. Many of them are here today to celebrate your success. Our alumni, I know, appreciate what you've done perhaps better than anybody else because they went through it themselves. To all our alumni joining us in the audience today, please stand so we can recognize you. I love it. I love it. To welcome you formally into the Fellowship of Georgia Tech Alumni, I'm pleased to introduce Betsy Bulat, an International Affairs and Modern Languages graduate from the class of 2004 and the chair of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association Board of Trustees. Betsy?
Good morning. My name is Betsy Bulat, and I'm a proud alumna of Georgia Tech and the current chair of the Alumni Association Board of Trustees. I have never been more optimistic about the future of Georgia Tech than I am right now, looking out into this room. All of you are now welcomed into one of the most coveted networks in the world, that of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. You're now part of a powerful alumni of over 200,000 members as of this fall. While each of your pursuits is unique, and we have alumni in every industry and on every continent, we all share certain experiences, like receiving our rat cap, walking up Freshman Hill, and getting good luck for our exams from Sideways. More than that, though, we share other things from our time at Tech. We share the power of perseverance, how to problem solve, and how to remain cool under pressure. Tech taught us that. You have worked so hard to put yourself in the position you are today. It's one of increasing power and privilege. Use it wisely. As Peter Parker's uncle said, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. This concept has motivated me since I left Georgia Tech. One way I've been able to give back is through the Alumni Association. The Alumni Association has been behind the scenes throughout your entire time at Georgia Tech, giving you advice, whether you ask for it or not, celebrating your achievements for you, and raising funds towards your experience. Stay in touch with us and get engaged. Let us celebrate with you when you accomplish your goals. We will provide you with connections, job leads, networking opportunities, events at Tech, and local events wherever you move after Tech, and also future friendships. Some of my very best Tech friends are those I met after I got out. You can always call Tech home. It's a special place steeped in tradition, and as alumni, you will always be part of our family. While your time at Tech may be over, unless you're pursuing an advanced degree, the Alumni Association is with you for a lifetime. May your pursuits be successful, your friendships be rich, and your life be full of buzz. Go Jackets!
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Betsy. So this weekend we celebrate 6,000 332 graduates from Georgia Tech's class of 2023. We are awarding more than 1,800 bachelor's degrees, more than 4,000 master's degrees, and yesterday we awarded 245 doctoral degrees to graduates from the summer and fall semesters. The bachelor's and master's candidates we honor today represent 59 countries and a multitude of disciplines. Think about it. Together, the talent in this room, they know how to build satellites and robots, bridges, medical devices. They can create and run businesses. They can shape better policies. They're versed in chemistry, in biology, in psychology. They can mine intelligence from complex data. They understand how markets and governments work and what our collective history teaches us about our future. They have traveled the world. They communicate in dozens of languages. They have learned to listen to others, to respect what others have to say, even when they disagree. They have learned to work with and learn with people who are different from themselves. They are confident, capable. They're creative problem solvers. They have learned the power of collaboration. They have been empowered to lead. And because of all of that, they make me, all of us, extremely hopeful about the future. But for all of this potential to make a difference, there is something I want you to remember. And to make sure you remember, we typed it right behind me. There are the two words on our seal: progress and service. These two words define us as a community, and they signify our belief in the power of innovation and ingenuity to serve a greater purpose, to improve the human condition. We don't believe in technology for its own sake, but because of its potential to help people live better lives. Some of you will join well-established companies like Cisco, and we'll help them grow and do better. Others, increasingly more of you, will create your own startups. Some of you are bound for careers in academia or in government. I know you will be successful no matter where you go. But remember that your true success won't be measured by how much money you make, but by the value you create for others. Now, don't get me wrong. Money you will make, some of you a lot of it. And when you're rich and famous, we'll kindly remind you where you went to school. I have a beautiful building, say, for your name on it, and the Alumni Association will find you. But now seriously, at the end of our journeys, what will make you proud, what will make your families and friends, what will make all of us proud, is what you did to lift others and to make a difference in our world. No pressure. As we like to say around here, we can do that. I know you are ready to tackle any challenge that might come your way. Now, today we celebrate your accomplishments and your potential. I'd like to thank you in advance for the great things we all know you're going to do. Now, joining us today in person in this building or online watching the proceedings from the distance, there are family members, friends, colleagues whose love and whose support helped make this day possible. These yellow jackets know perfectly well they wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And for that, we thank all of you. We must also thank the faculty and staff members who have guided and mentored the students, offering time, wisdom, and expertise to help our graduates reach their fullest potential. Will members of our faculty and staff please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Thank you for a job well done. Now I'm honored to introduce some members of our leadership team who are joining me here on the platform. Please hold your applause as they stand when I call their names. Larry Jacobs, Senior Vice Provost for Education and Learning. Paul Cohn, Vice Provost for Enrollment Management. Michelle Reinhardt, Vice Provost for Faculty, John Stein, Associate Vice President for Student Life, and Brand Fritz, Dean of Students, Leslie Sharp, Dean of Libraries, Shantae Bolton, Executive Vice President for Administration and Finance, Jen Howe, Vice President for Development, Abigail Tumpy, Vice President, Institute Communications, and our mace bearer today, Stephen Gerardo, Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education. Thank all of you. I know some of you may not believe it, but we are fully aware of how hard we've made you work while you were here. We understand the obstacles that you all overcame this past few years and congratulate you on crossing the finish line. Now, some of you know that I've played different roles at Georgia Tech over the years. I have been a student, an alum, a parent, an advisor, and now president. I even found my spouse here, Beth, who's with us today. So thank you. So I know very well that being a yellow jacket is something truly special. A Georgia Tech diploma is something you will treasure for the rest of your life. It will be transformative. It was for me, and like so many students through the generations, I can proudly say that nothing that I have accomplished in my career would have been possible with the opportunities I had at Georgia Tech and without the people I met here. So now is your turn. You are forever connected to these great institutions and cannot wait to see the great things you will continue to do. It's time to look ahead, to push forward, to go out and make an impact on the world like only yellow jackets can. Congratulations, class of 2023. And now we have a treat for you, your last lecture at Georgia Tech. And I'm honored to present our speaker, Chuck Robbins, who is the chair and CEO of Cisco. Chuck began his career as an application developer at the North Carolina National Bank before joining Cisco as an account manager in 1997. He rose through the corporate ranks and was named CEO and chair in 2017. Cisco employs more than 80,000 people around the globe, and with Chuck at the helm, the company is considered a global technology leader. Cisco and Georgia Tech have enjoyed a mutually beneficial relationship under Chuck's leadership, and the company has sponsored research across the institute. In addition, the company has created 700 new jobs through the establishment of Cisco's Midtown Atlanta workspace and showroom, which you cannot miss because it has a very nice logo pointing in this direction. This new facility houses collaborations with Georgia Tech researchers, startups, co-op students, and interns. Now, before I turn the podium over to him, we have one more exciting order of business to attend to: the honorary degree. This is the most significant honor Georgia Tech can confer on an individual, and we are proud to bestow Georgia Tech's honorary degree on Chuck Robbins for his unyielding commitment and service to our institute. The honorary degree citation reads the following: the President and faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, to all to whom these presents may come. Whereas Charles Robbins is an influential and visionary leader in the communications technology industry and in his community, has enriched society through strategic support of digital-first technologies designed to improve companies, cities, and countries around the world, has provided advice and counsel to the Georgia Institute of Technology through volunteer service and leadership, and has shaped the Institute through the significant philanthropy directed for facilities and research at his behest. Now, therefore, we do hereby confer, we need to time this well, there we go. Let me do that again. Now we do hereby confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining. Chuck Robbins, with this distinguished honor, we proudly recognize you. On behalf of the entire Yellow Jacket community, thank you and congratulations. And I have let's do a photo.
Well, I stand before you a Tar Heel who just became a Yellow Jacket. My Tar Heel brethren weren't real happy about me being here today, but I'm thrilled. So hello to the graduates. It's an honor to be here to help you all celebrate all the amazing achievements that you've had over the last few years, but we'll come back to that in a minute. I want to start with everyone else here today, the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the siblings, the mentors, the caretakers, the friends, godparents, legal guardians, and so many more. Maybe you provided the resources. Maybe you blazed a trail to show these graduates what's possible. Maybe you just gave them love and support when they needed it most. Whatever your role, the people we're celebrating today now have a degree from one of the finest technical institutions on the planet, and you're part of that story. So congratulations, and I think all of you should join me in saying thank you to all of them. There are a few other people I want to recognize in the audience tonight. This is my support system. Without them, I couldn't be here with you. They're the key players in my story. I'm very blessed to have my mom, my sister, my beautiful wife, and my children here with me this morning. Every bit of success I've had, all the love and laughter I have in my life starts with that group. Thank you, and I love you very much. So my story started about 40 miles from here in a town called Grayson. Anybody from Grayson? Yeah? There's 4 people from Grayson. That's good. That's 20% of the population, I think. My father was a planning and zoning commissioner for Gwinnett County, and my mother was a secretary at the county courthouse. My grandfather was a Southern Baptist preacher and fed his family with what he raised or grew on the farm. When I was younger, everyone thought I would follow in his footsteps to the pulpit. But like many of you today, once I was exposed to technology, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. To say the world was simpler then, and not just in Grayson, which is still relatively simple, is a massive understatement. In fact, I think you can make an argument that this graduating class is entering or re-entering our workforce at one of the most complicated times in history. Macroeconomic challenges, geopolitical tensions, war, political polarization, social unrest, the lingering effects of a global pandemic, the list goes on. And with each crisis, different cracks in our society are exposed. And the divide between us, whether perceived or real, only gets bigger and bigger and bigger. All of you will have to navigate all of that, not just as professionals, but as people. Discovering who you really are and figuring out what you really want is hard enough on its own, but it gets even harder when the world keeps changing all around you. But despite everything that's going on, I can honestly stand in front of you and say, I've never been more optimistic about our future and your future. For one thing, we still live in the greatest country in the world. I've been fortunate to travel to just about every corner of the planet. I can tell you that despite our flaws, some of which are pretty glaring, particularly as of late, the United States of America is still the beacon for freedom and opportunity. I'm also very bullish on this generation's ability to have a true and lasting impact on the world. Yes, you're graduating at a complicated and fragmented time, but your innate combination of intelligence and idealism is exactly what the world needs now. Let me give you a few examples. First, to be a leader in today's world, and trust me, I know, you have to know how to navigate through a crisis. In fact, you have to navigate through multiple crises at the same time. That's a new reality. And you've already done that. You're among the first wave of post-pandemic leaders, and you'll be able to apply all those lessons right from the beginning. My peer group, all the CEOs who are running businesses today, we had to learn that on the fly. It was relatively calm when I was in college. There was no playbook for the dot-com bubble. Most of you don't remember that, but maybe you read about it. Or 9/11, or the 2008 financial crisis, trade wars with China, a social justice reckoning, or wars and humanitarian crises at levels not seen in decades. We were forged in those fires, and there's a unique blend of pragmatism and optimism that comes from that kind of experience. No matter how difficult, you have no choice but to learn how to weather those storms, how to keep your employees calm and focused, how to keep driving your strategy and stay on the path, even with all the uncertainty around you. Now, you won't have all that experience yet, but you will learn it. But what you do have, maybe more than any generation in history, is empathy. There's a great quote that said, "Everyone everywhere is fighting a battle you know nothing about, so be kind." You've lived that. You navigated a crisis most will never experience, and you came out on the other side with this incredible education. Make no mistake, you're going to be tested, and if recent history is any indication, you're going to be tested early and you're going to be tested often. But you're built for this moment. You're ready to live during these times, and you're ready to lead during these times. You're going to lead with empathy, and you're going to lead with determination. My second point is, you're the first generation of leaders where having a positive societal impact is not only possible, it's expected. It's part of the job description now. That sure wasn't the case when I became a leader. Doing good in the world was a nice to have. It was good for the brand, it was good for employee morale, but was it good for business? We've proven that it is. We've proven that time and time again, the choice between profit and purpose is a false duality. Not only is it entirely possible to do both at once, but one begets the other. If we can improve the life of just one person, just one, it'll ripple across their family, to their community, to their country. And those waves eventually will stretch across the globe. Creating those connections, driving those new opportunities, that improves the world and impacts bottom line. We can do both, and we must. Our graduates and next generation of leaders grew up believing in that paradigm. You have kept people like me accountable to not only care about running a great business and delivering profits, but living a purpose and doing what's right in the communities in which we operate. I can only imagine what's possible when all of you are in charge. My third and final point ties these first two together. We're at a very exciting and very important inflection point where that big T that Kojo talked about earlier, there are significant breakthroughs in technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and quantum. Take these three together along with some other developments, and we'll soon have more combined computing power than in the history of humanity. Quantum's the furthest away, but let's just stop for a minute and understand the power of what it's going to represent. Quantum computers will be 158 million times faster than the supercomputers we have today. It's pretty incomprehensible, so let's just take an example. If we took the largest and most complex data set and equation we can build and fed it to today's best computers, it would take 10,000 years to solve. Quantum computing was going to do that in 4 minutes. Now here's a glass half full reality. That kind of power will get us closer to ever solving some of the largest and most existential challenges facing mankind. World hunger, the climate crisis, access to education, health care. We can build a more equitable and inclusive world on top of that infrastructure, but there are also significant risks. As we've seen through human history, that kind of power can be used to hurt us. We're going to need strong, ethical leaders to wield that kind of power. Leaders who believe that technology can and should be used as a force for good. To the graduates, this is your greatest opportunity, and I would suggest it's your greatest responsibility. In the technology industry that I live in today, the number one thing that we talk about is the future generation has to approach these technologies with deep ethics, and I firmly believe that you will do just that. Empathy, purpose, ethics. Those are the three things that will define this generation and why I'm so optimistic about the future. In closing, I'll leave you a few things. I hesitate to call it advice because everyone's personality and path is different, but these have always helped me. First and foremost, never forget where you came from and always keep perspective. I've walked in a White House. I've walked in presidential palaces. My wife and I spent 40 minutes with the Pope. I've walked the most hallowed halls of the most hallowed buildings in the world, but in a way, I feel like I'm always walking those dirt roads of Grayson. I've never really left those, and that makes all the difference. Secondly, find a company and career that aligns with your values. Remember, you represent the company, but that company represents you. A company that will stand with you and live in a purpose that you're aligned with. Third, and this is so important today, when you find yourself on the opposite side of an issue from someone else, which happens occasionally, don't rush to judgment. Don't hate them because they have a different view. And don't cancel them because they have a different view. Instead, sit down with them, spend time with them, have lunch with them, understand their perspective and why they feel the way they do. Because most of us in this room will agree that diversity is a good thing. We all preach it, we live it, we talk about it all the time. We love it until it creates perspectives that we don't agree with. And it introduces different perspectives. Don't dismiss them. Take the opportunity to learn from them. And finally, surround yourself with things you love. Find your people, find your passions, and grab them with everything you have. There's an old cliche that if you love what you do, you never work a day of your life. That's not true. You're going to work a lot of days of your life, even when you love it. Some days are harder than others. But if you have a deep passion for the work, then you can withstand the hard things that will undoubtedly come your way. Passion gives you focus, and it gives you purpose. And maybe more than anything else, it gives you clarity and light in a world that often does not make sense. I'm so honored to be here today and celebrate this incredible milestone with all of you. I have no doubt that you're going to make us all very proud. I hope that one day many of you work for us. And I wish you the best of luck. And based on what I've heard from the speakers up here today, the only thing left to say is go Jackets.
Thank you, Dr. Robbins. And now we come to the time you have all been waiting for, the conferral of your degrees. This is a complex procedure, but I know you can do this. Each of you is going to walk through the stage, and that's going to represent the culmination of your hard work and your achievement. Now, here's my request to you. After you walk through stage and receive your recognition, you need to return to your seat. And there are two reasons for doing that. One is you need to show your fellow students the same respect they've given you. There's a second reason, very important. After everybody has walked through stage, I will pronounce the magic words that will make your degree valid. if you leave the building prematurely, I just don't know what may happen to your degree. You don't want to risk that. So you walk, go back to your seat. Now seriously, before we start, there is a very, very special degree that we're giving today. It's a posthumous degree. We are proud to honor the life and the academic achievement of Benjamin Chen, who is receiving his bachelor's degree in electrical and computer engineering. We are thankful to members of Ben's family for being here with us today. And now I'm pleased to welcome Provost Steve McLaughlin, who will introduce the academic deans by college, and the deans in turn will present the degree candidates. Steve?
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Are you ready? Senior Associate Dean Richard Utz will present the candidates for master's degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts.
All right, this is a pleasurable moment. Candidates for Master of Science degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts, please rise and cheer. President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for Master of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees.
Brandon Devon Moore. Janae Marie Jones. Rachel Yetunde Asonibare. Tony Venat. Sydney Wilson. Semawe Michelle Mitchell. Wahib Idris. Jonathan A. Namdar. Danielle Fernandez. Kevin Eldridge. Rajiv Sandaruwan Kalutantri Patabendi. Michael Most. James Pounds. Sean Mark Strickland. Matthew Ryan Ward. Kulsum Mateen. Christopher Ryan Jackson. Kartikeya Rastogi. Fayez Shamsul Haq. Jamal Rashad Relaford. Unim Kim. Hector Huafeng Fan. Elijah Wiley Jacobs. Francisco Stenger. Alina Scaria Naritukil. Jasmine Alexis Bush. Benjamin Joseph Shudak. William MacDonald. David Valentin Ramos. Norunisha Mohammed. Rhiannon Noel Jacobson. Anuoluwapo Bolowatife Oshunuyi. Kristen Bonsall. Daniel Skempton. Samira Gangawarapu. Paul Bernard Love II. Megan Chuan Litz. Paula Sanhuesa Ramos. Claire C. Rink. Emily Marie Day. Raymond Christopher Hughes. Akshay Satish. Francisco Leo. Wigberto Maldonado. Javier Eli Colon Colon. Joshua Kenneth Bambrick, Daniel Levinson, Iyene Essien, Chayan Jagsuk, Mark Gregory Ellison, Anthony Olamide Ojidi, Thomas Andrew Ko, Ji-Eun Kim, Hong Yan Yu, Mu-Yi Wang, Brunetta Nicole Smith, Jia-Qi Wang, Edgar William Ennis III, Xin-Yi Yuan, Shaw G. Brown, Jishuan Zhang, Fan Zhang,
Associate Dean Russell Gentry will present the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Design.
Candidates for master's degrees in the College of Design, please rise and cheer. President Cabrera, I have the honor to present to you those candidates for master's degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees.
Melissa Ray Holgado, Arif Akhtar Kurashi, Lawrence Matthew Brennan, Chae-Yoon Park, Ivy Marie Perkins, Mario Montoya, Richard Kellstrand Tucker II, Anthony Nicola Capomacchia, Robert J. Rowlandson, Mayank Singh, Topeka Pringle,
Aras Maksudi,
Sina Koshbayan, Ricardo Felipe Deep Calimano, Yi Jing Wang, Han Huang,
Bowen Xing,
Yan Xie, Mei Chen Wei, Si Simba Pang, Yue Li, Giselle Alyssa Marie Dean, Georgios Iakovidis, Malavika Morali, Ivy Baral, Heather Lee Mays, Siddharth Sivakumar, Robert Ryan Stout, Xavier A. Simonelli, Smeya Shirley Deborah Prince Javahar, Danya Mamalan, Subhash Raj Rajan, Hitesh Thakur, Nikhil Ravi Krishnan, Jiaying Li,
Interim Dean Jonathan Clark will present the candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees in the Ernest Scheller Jr. College of Business.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and the Master's in Business Administration. Please rise and cheer. President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Master's degree in Business Administration who have completed the requirements for these degrees.
Karuna Kumar. Pamela K. Buffington. Victor Bolette. Nazma Akhtar. Gregory Michael Smith. Michele Orlandi. Amir Rabaripur. Asa Bassam. Christopher Horace Stewart. Terry Wayman Werner Jr. Vikash Kumar. Christopher Procino. Daniel David Hartwig. John Robert Kaysen. David Anthony Robinson. Natalia Martin. Vandana Kumar. Manlin Gao. Alexei Nathaniel Nikonovich Khan. Sky Ann Blevins. Matthew Russell Odom. Addison Lee Hearn. Michael Davis. Jackson Walker Sullins. Nicholas David Estabrook. Richard Aruda Rabello. Charles Birch. Sonu Goyal. Srijesh Siddharthan. Orko Sen Gupta. Rituparno Ganguly. Pushpendu Talukdar. Tejas Nayak. Lily Tang. Krutika Gai. Sudha Kohli. Faisal Lakhani. Anand Singh. Noah Karlstrom Pills. David Hong Fan. Rodney Antonius Mays. Jason Matthews Palmer. James Vu. Gerald Thaddeus Flowers Jr. Jonathan Newton. Dante Jackson. Wendy M. Wilson. Bandan Kumar. Thomas Cook. Milan Perry. Jacob Clifton Albritton. Lauren Marie Bateman. Danielle Nicole Hall. Alejandro Manuel Mata. Juan Espinosa. Maria Esperanza Guzman. Thomas Arthur Morrow. Charles Alexander Luskow. Rodrigo Cerna. Christopher Deckert. Kinneret Brockman Giddens. Garichel Sosa. Christopher Scott Schultz. Dwayne Lewis. Janae Ashley Nelson. Ryan Donegan, James Gregory Gibbs, Peter O'Neill, Amruth Surapaneni, Andres R. Alarcon, Cameron Kaulana Canto, Joe Naro, Justin Michael Jones, O'Neill M. Wanless, Sydney Marie Green, Elizabeth Kane Chichilla, Kelsey Ann Myers, Natasha Denise Reed, Courtney Crumby Shabir, Constance Cannon, Alexander Push, Andrew Curtis Sexton, Tyler Reed Daniels, Logan Andrew Kanai, Matt DeVito, Melissa Brandley, Jerry Gashago, Laura Cristina Betancourt, Nathan Coleman O'Connor, Justin Garrison, Jason David Eberhard, Luke Stephen Saladega,
Arijit Guha,
John Francis LaChance, David Cotter, Vanessa Margarita Lorenzo, James Darrell Hutton, Jacob Lee Hildebrandt, Bradley Thomas Van Kuren, Andrew Jackson Curry IV, Rohit Devolopoli, Rahul Srinivasan Gunasegar, Martin Bakari Russell, Madhu Babu Pachuca, Ronnie Darnell Rochelle, Chad Marshall Mintz, Chibuzo Uchenna Okoro, Dennis Eugene Scott Jr., Shannon Lee Kaiser, Aditya Shetty, Philip Johnston, Maria Delmar Ceballos, Amy Stone, Savannah Durrance O'Connor, Saksham Arora, Vani Radhakrishnan, Sarah Ameling, Ross Abdul Mewand, Francis Bonavi Gallego, Oluwaseun Adebara, Mishal Patel, Nathan Trey Foster, Joshua Chang, Elizabeth Ann Alderman, Jillian George, Mary Catherine Lindsay, Carlos E. Anliker, Ciro Baires, Fanny Baires Flores, Destiny Danae Bond, Kadeem Trimble, Dihong Huang, Hubert Lin, Wen Pei Yan, Yi Hu, Jianing Li, Jinlin Ye, Xiaojun Zhang, Emilio Jose Quintana, Alejandra Nash Gutierrez, Phoebe Ann Chem, Galila Agajela, Brendan James Sullivan, Kelsey Nicole Austin, Nathan Alexander Scholl, Preeti Shakya, Chidambara Sankari Devanayagam, Andrew Tyler Buran, Emily Ann Pleasance, Catherine Weems, Montserrat Vasquez,
Cameron Scarlett Barnett, Moxie McDonald, Harika Jandiala, Victoria Yashing Lin, Alfred Ungolo, Jason William Moore, Taylor Dax Bishop, Vincent Allen Yoakley, William Barksdale Boyd, John Cannon Christian, Greer Scott Hardesty, Sarth Sudhir Patel, Richard Alexander Finch, Kristen Yeep, Alyssa D. Kim, Umar Ibn George, Aman Momin, Ahmad Saeed, Brandon Philip Prince, Kelly Ajin Kim, Kiran Gaurisankar, Nikila Reddy Alavala, Julia Lynn Kelly, Mackenzie Tyler Allen, Isabella Andrea Paluzzo Fernandez, Sakshi Jagannath Joshi, Veronica Raja, Monica Dedai, Paula Cascardo Reicherta Pimentel, Daniel Kertes, Garrett Lewis Israel, Jefferson Thomas Lovett, Nathan Jude Milton Neto, Chase Thomas Grande, Curran Patel, Kevin A. Jung, Ethan Louis Michel, Jonathan Christian Alexander, Sean Christopher Alexander, Maha Madadali, Manika Bhatia, Daria Magari, Christopher Stephen Jinho Moon, Joshua Kim, Joseph Ko, Do Q Park, Iris Kim, Tony Nguyen Sheridan, Matthew Richard Wieters, Trevor Pipcorn, Anne Marie Nestor, Lily Grace Johnson, Reagan Michelle Dahlman, Trey Snell, Ruth Gina Lim, Samira Benit, Ross Leroy, Nathan Touchberry, Alan Rankin, Mason Richard Zepkowski, Shane Carafonda, Nathan Cale Manning, Maheja Mehta, Ho-Seung Kang, Hanuk Chi, Jin-hyuk Jeremy Kim, Martin Gerhard Pohl, Christopher Kuo, Brendan Regale Kenyan Banks, Alexis Jean Skidmore, Jessica Brigitta Wooten, Ellie Hong, Yu Ching Wu, Josh Lee Braun, Brett Wood, Chamberlain Wokoma, Jack Clayton Deal, Tiffany Kaikum, Angelica Maria Rodriguez, Alexander Mark Hayes, Neha Elizabeth Jacob, Isabella Gail Macaluso, McKenna Rose Fairfield, Daniel Gregory Shaw, Austin Goncalves, Troy Ronald Douglas Woolridge, Isabella Tenenbaum, Ryan Edward Jacob Lance, Briley Ann Galeazzo, Austin Benjamin Chen, Rhea Chavla, Lily Hope Curran, Helen Margaret Bishop, Ria Rajiv Patel, Pragya Harid, Megan Elizabeth Gamble, Luke Ruane, Nikhil Uppal, Anita Kadir, Elizabeth Hayes Cobber, Lydia Paralee Ruane, Billy Summerhour, Reagan Rose Donnelly, Jansen Faith Samples, Hannah Grace Wagner, Marguerite Elizabeth Lanham, Jocelyn Cancino Blanchett, Lena Sapelo Thompson Brown, Christy Lynn Fitzmaurice, Kenan Israel Johnson, Zachary Sewell, Akash Patu, Azan Khan,
Senior Associate Dean David Collard will present candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Sciences.
Candidates for the Bachelor of Science degrees in the College of Sciences, please rise. And everyone, please cheer, cheer. President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you those candidates for the Bachelor of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for the degree.
Faris Mazen Nabulsi, Ishika Samantarai, Alice Ponte, Arsham Garai, Anne Van Buena, Kira Alexander Barney, Zachary Omar Francois, Catherine Annabelle Jordan, Ellie Catherine Hecker, Lizzie Wright, Jocelyn Sanda Lounsbury, Anisha Kanakolanu, Sahithi Pandey, Richard Wong, Monisha Satyanarayanan, Rosi Divine Mita Mubalama, Matthew Carson Rayside, Amelfa Rose Blyle, Sarah Rose Shapiro, Elijah David Grindle, Catherine Kenny, Emma Adeline Acock, Andriana Michelle Mansell, Sarah Ross Palucci, Ashley Caroline Davis, Harry H. Burnett, Harshini Vumadi, Madison Faith Lucas, Juliana Elisa Jennings, Brian Saldana Arias, Fajar Supriyadi, Chulhu Jiang, Armand Motasanu, Ethan Curtis, John E. Hunchovsky, Ricardo Ramos, Kamala Ambika Natarajan, Abni Amit Sarnaik, Jennifer Min-Soo Kim, Chaeun Her, Kaylin Ross Jinnah, Ria Manish Gobin, Lily Madhvi Kamat, Alexandra Jude Newberg, Alexi Arakiadis, Anthony Javier Ramirez, Derek Alex Villalba, Adit Samir Desai, Helene Ahmedi, Hannah Mariam Azadi, Elena Rose Levy, Feng Jiang, San Wang, Randall Thomas Rook, Lucy New, Kathy Vuong, Ashley Yu-Jin Hong, Jeffrey Ryan Kramer, Hannah Yinglin Lewis, Preston Sok Peng, Kai Mai Shu, Noah Allen Arnold, Anjali Sai Chairreddy, Rachel Mary Abraham, Rania Ahmad, Marvins Shirless, Jessica Harley, Leah Sara Varghese, Kushi Pravin Gajera, Faraz Mustafa Nusrat Rasiwala, Edwin Tae-hun Kim, Caroline Michelle Lewis, Dominic Richard Polsinelli, Kyle Andrew Rowe, Li Xing Zheng, Jacob Alexander Hinson, Mallory Kathleen Monahan, Sophia Sparks, Emily Tribby, Ryan Patrick McGee, Eden Yuval Mazur, Shiloh Emma Thomas Wilkinson, Mundar Bharat Patil, Annalie Chris Miner, William Sebastian Hancock, Mariam Mohammed, Lou Jane Diab, Grace Gayan An, Sierra Marie Fritz, Barsha Mahalakshmi Bardwaj, Edwin Lester Solis Fuentes, Briston Green, Taylor Faustina Cushman, Marina Rose Pilger, Kelly Lauren Ike, Kayla May Wang, Lois Fiona Rowe, Sharon Hyo Lim, Luke Daniel Braun, Sekou Max Noble Kuchera, Ramya Niveda Raja, Autumn Elise Hart, Hannah Elizabeth Routley,
Are there any engineers out there? Associate Dean Damon Williams will present candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering.
Would all of the candidates of the Bachelor of Science degrees in the greatest College of Engineering in the entire world, would you please rise and cheer? President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you these candidates for Bachelor of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees.
Anisha Singh, Justin Effendi, Leela Elizabeth Cochran, Nicholas James Sullivan, Chek Mohammed Narcisse Cabre, Afia Felicia Kessie, Selena Wu, Logan Neil Dominique, Sebastian David Redondo Rivera, Diego Armando Redondo, Aryan Mana, Hassan Zulfikar, Hassan Yusuf Sheikh, Abdul Rahman Ahmad Tabah, Angela Dong, Catherine Elizabeth Parker, Duck Hung Tran, Jared Spencer Waters, Andrew John Lang, Brandon Colley, Jesse Ebinger Chavez, Joseph David Thibodeau, Kevin Shao, Maxwell Ross Mobley, Suchit Munigati, Lasya Akshara, Nandan Sangani, Nathaniel Christopher Mitchell, Charles William Bauer, Mun Gaurang Raki Desai, Dylan James Urich, Maitland Grace Reardon, James William Fluitt, Rahen Sanjay Patel, Nidhi Manish Shangavi, Anna C. Nichols, Jacob Daniel Tatri, Quinn Parker, Lexi Renee Dorch, Abigail Jane Swiger, Lily Rose Science, Brent Nathaniel Miller, Ram Chatot, Vignesh Sekar, Watson Kasal, Ming-Shi Zhang,
Jason Meng,
Xiangjin Peter Zhang, Chris Klink, Juan Cruz Norez, Griffin Coltrane Ron, Eduardo Ramirez Velez, Jordan Philip Christopher Ost, Joshua Andrew Lewis, Alfred Beelan Jr., Lisanthan Moodley, Brandon Joshua Young, Kojo Bakui Seichi, Thomas Zafiro, John Matthew Hauk, Shane Dallas, Joshua Jenkins, Emily Williams, Olivia Grace Veray, Natalie Elizabeth Rea, Jacob Ryan Sloman, Maxwell Ridgely Hall, Ryan David Shanahan, Edward Scott Rostick, Tyler Clayton Michael, Vanessa Abigail DaCosta Seidel, Anna Elise Pavlicek, Alexandra Morgan Aiello, Andrew Da-En Fan, Audrey Putri Wali Leong, Rachel Wei Wang Kong, Marcolius Angjaya, Ronnie Lee Walker Jr., Rafael Avila, Shireen Rashid Faroki, Forrest James Crawford IV, Anderson Praband Chinandet, Yang Nuo Yang, Li Zhe Zhang, Yan Lin Bai, Chen Hao Hu, Jessie Elizabeth Turner, Sanjula Aaron Yatabi, Christopher S. Suh, Caleb Becker, Pablo Martin Jimenez, Ariana Garbers, Ju Bean An, Kenneth Wayne Glaze III, Benjamin Bradley Crane, Willard Sebastian Sissom, Harrison Matthew Morgan, Marshall Yuen, Gary Edward Lasky, Jordan Forbes, Eduardo Salazar, Zuki Kai, Jia Chang Zhang, Renee Daniel Van Horde, Bhavana Suresh, Richa Bome, Benjamin Jerming Chen,
posthumously awarded.
Suzanne Lawler Cockstein, Izad Mohammed Zayed, David Lee, Arik Saha, Bradley Williams Lang, William Brandt Olson, Karan Vikram Kotak, Omar H. Mancy, Evan Wesley Young, Grace Elaine Mallon, Georgia Lee Sachs, Caitlin Tran, Ruhi Didani, Devon Menezes, Ian McKeith, Coley Preston Chapman, Lillian Mary Conroy Tso, John Patrick Hutchinson, Samuel Liu, Lillian Olivia Cooper, Joshua Alexander Bryant, Robert Connor Funsale, Charles Leary Finn, Maxwell Cole Hayward, Tyler Matthew Patton, Christian Matthew Bennett, Kevin Zhang, William Allen Reese Brower, Garrett Lee Allman, Shannon Elizabeth Royer, Taylor Caitlin Hunter, Sophia Alejandra Padilla, Caitlin Rose Ellis, Carter Ledoux Hodishak, Michael Frank Ansell, Ryan Daniel Anderson, Julia Hilgenberg Merlin, Koji Andrew Shimada, Fat Bui, Raymond Taniguchi Barrett, Anthony James Hatch, Jessica Huang, Garrett Fisher, Brandon L. Perry, Abinay Joel Brown, Margaret Honan, Jamie Bowie, Jada Marie Morgan, Naya Marie Ebanks, Bowen Pomeroy Miller, Shani Hadia Edmond, Emma Elizabeth Prohl, Madeline Jean Sheff, Jacqueline Seeger, Colleen Ann Moulton, Mateo Villalobos, William Austin Dunn, Lane Proctor, Noah Thomas Robinson, Tristan Ellis Terry, Nikhil Murali, Wan Sang Yu, Mason Rawls Harrell, Moises H. Zendejas, Hannah Grace Priest, Valeria Granados, Maya Nicole Davis, Logan M. Starr, Joanne Park, Grace Saad, Alexandra Leah Rockman, Gemma Louise Ruggiano, Carly Marlene Bethay, Lindsay Ann Jerome, Wei Powell, Michaela Denise Relford, Savannah Elizabeth Patnode, Diva Yadab, Lauren Nicole Wright, Rosa Bernardi Santos, Irene Ha-un Cho, Lawrence Copeland, Caroline Wellesley Adkins, Carolyn M. Trin, Hannah Rose Hagenaw, Olivia Grace Starkey, Sasha Elaine Pamphil, Matthew Joseph Kelly Mazzacano, Luke Michael Harrison, Alexander Leslie, Henry Ellis Daniel, Ben Barr, Lorenzo Migliara, Yash Girish Wagal, Nathaniel Clark Green, Samantha Hawe Mutidi, Owen Spencer Patterson, Kenneth Wayne Donahue, Hunter Caleb Melton, Ishan Nandi, Nadine Mansour, Irvin Angelus, Kaylin Floria Colbert, Jonghyun Lim, Ardian Kulkarni, Miles Gregory Stalby, Owen Patrick Q, Dylan Frausto, Trent Hannon, Nathaniel Gregory, Sean Dylan Hughes, Alexander Matthew Varghese, Ramtin Dorucci, Emma Catherine Warbington, Owen Nathan Dylan Lerman, Caitlin Shambly, Nacharlsia Tiani Floyd, Mukrab Adhanam Tesfasalase, Micah Katarina Pledger, Madeline Ebbs Graham Macy, Rebecca Ruth Guile, Adrian A. Candosia, Ashley A. Goodnight, Stephen Joseph Marino, Coleman Adams Christensen, Dakota Alice Mitchell, Do-hyun Evan Mason, Maxwell Thomas Home, Gray Simmons, Brandon Neri, Hannah Jo Jackson, John William Petrucci, Veronica Maria Pantalone, Leon Zotler, Liz Anna Catherine Palacios, Rishab Verma, Sasi Kumaran Nanda Kumar, William James Skillen, Carson Amir Kamal, Alyssa Lee Whitman, Henry Riley Chance, Gabriel Graves, Alex Henry Schrader, James Lowell Bevins III, Davis Mason McIntyre, Austin Taylor Morrow, Brianna Casey Leckie, Eva Maria Salmon, Audrey Grace Olensky, Carmen Alexandra Boer, Malia Ewell, Camila Andrea Gonzalez, Claudia Rose Dwartz, Lauren Ann Henley, Matthew Simpson, Ryan Ramirez, Drew Deppie, Lindsay Brooke Neese, Ryan Scott Lamazaris, Tanishka Lahotia, Nicola Lee Porto, Jason Chi Chun Lee, Nathaniel Inman, Charles Davis Begg, Kevin Michael Leach, Dylan Peter Such, Sebastian Taylor Cobb, Michael Min Trong Nguyen, Michael Dennis Hoff, Sophia Elena Colosi, John Wesley Patterson, Jayant Parimi, William Bryce Parsons, Martha Jane Leach, Misam Ali Zaidi, Noah Aaron Sands, Cyrus David Newquist, Hunter Michael Lee, Jacob Isaacson, Jack Frederick Stegelman, Caleb Joshua Connors, Yash Ankit Saraya, Govind Rohit Poyapakam, Varun Roy, Alexander William Shee, Paula Naomi Mizoch, Austin Das Walker, Edwin Noel Gaona, Alejandro Vasquez, Joshua Sarhang Rankin, Reed Spencer, Alec Bradshaw Albrecht, Dylan Alexander Van Verseveld, Alan Ling Young, Joseph Eric Gellin, Richard Gray Leonard, Alexander Sikorsky, Christopher Cabaney, Joseph Rocco Venny, Brendan Tan Fahed, Nicholas Rios, Zachary Lawrence Donald, Bennett James Bush, Diana Stephanie Garcia, Ritarka Samantha, Sophie Zhang, Jennifer Cao Dong, Gabriel Abraham Lopez Lugo, Evan Shari Mir, Andrea Jurovsky, Shamraiz Fawad, Esther Oluwadara Boludeoku, Elizabeth Oluwatarera Bolodeoku, Ethan Nathaniel Damiani, Yadu Sanil, Madeline Parker, Charles David Beaumont, Lauren Elizabeth Balazowicz, Andy Chang, Tamon Uruno, Rhett Christopher Dozier, Grayson James Lovett, Joseph Anselm Johnson, Kayla Bell, Stephanie Lily Rawls, Eva Luna Reiling, Ashley Ida Devins, Amber Lee Seberg, Yu Ting Gu, Jia Shi Yu, Juliana Markham, Rachel Catherine Nieberg, Luke Bennett Catton, Shalomi Gina Arul Pragasam, Snigdha Nelutla, Neil Maiti, Nikhil Nandikanti, Nolan Derek Amblard, William E. Zhang, Orestes Olympios Vratimos, Alexa Aaron Nichols, Daniela Ortegon, Jackson Turner, Joshua Michael Patrick, Justin Kaplan, Luke David Burns, Jackson Vincent Fisher, Olivia Lynn Lawson, Mia Farrow, Emily Morgan Bell, Alexander Brooks Buckaloo, Craig Jarabek Cassidy, Nicholas Barrett Katinsky, Michael Ryan Bowling, Dennis Beller, Jace Aaron Schwartz, Christopher Mack II, Laura Marcella Barros, Landon Ray Kirkland, Ryan Kelly, Amog Ashwat, Hyuk Lee, Roberto Alejandro Ruiz, Zachary Kazaruni, Patrick Stephen Smith, Caroline Gilpin, Priyanka Gowda, Alexis Lee Jerding, Catherine Carvel Gould, Evelyn Leah Herskovitz, Cameron Parker Huff, Andrew Holt Leach Jr., Tate Andrew Niekamp, William Joseph Poss, Esther Zhe Shu, Clifford Yao, Min-Soo Kim, Gabriella Kai-Hun Lee, Andrew Wong, Mohit Peninti, William Tong, Gwen O'Sullivan, Gabrielle S. Wong, Justin Michael Stevens, Kevin Talbot Ewalt, Philippe John Diaz Rialina, Adrian Camilo Marrero, William Jackson Coquillard, James Alexander Nelson, Joshua Drew May, Amanda Michelle Lang, Ishan Gupta, Brandon Powell, Ashley Caitlin Seacrest, Diego Jose Angulo, Dylan Joseph Scott, Matthew Alexander Krim, Toby Cho Lee, Guksel Okan Zaim, Megan Alexandra Brown, Crispin Waits Gamble, Zachary Stephen Greaser, Jennifer Melissa Nolan, Casey Jones, Caroline Dowell Esquivel, Tara Hashimian Kimiabi, Cameron Martine Reed, Perla Leticia Ortiz, Samuel Alexander Rockaway, George Canute Brody, Anna Fix, Katie Venturella, Justin Lou Tran, Christopher Dat Lee, Irene Hyun, Kylie Brown, Bettina Isabel Bermejo Shaponko, Riley Catledge, Joshua Edward Hunter, Salvador Richard Perez, Mia Celeste Pellegrini, Adam Nathaniel Shoemaker, Wyatt Bartow Smith, Reese Davis Allen, John Annis Monahan, Martin Eduardo Poretti, Andrew Tyler Weatherly, Jada Michelle Wilson, Tyrell Philip Snag, Ti Hui Trung, Trum An Nguyen, Tao Kim Phuong Phan, Mai Nauk Phuong Nguyen, Renee Alexander Ake, Zachary Hudson Sledge, Fernando Ruelas Lopez Jr., Mohammed Arif, Spencer Charles Davidson, Jonathan Cedric Law, Christian Kiban Arnett, Bumsu Park, Junyoung Kim, John Ben Owens II, Avnish Vipulbai Dalal, John Patrick Binnick IV, Juan Perdomo, Nicholas Justin Foster, Ron Brian Volkovinsky, Penny Shao, Rohit Suresh, Bo Wen Xiang, Sujith Jayaraman, Harita Dhiren Patel, Pallavi Aranarath, Gayatri Menon, Catherine Ann Warenberg, Lonnie Kriener, Sarah Rodriguez, Cole Ashton Sosnowski, Matthew McKenna, Evan Patrick Charney, Samirawit Ashageri, Joseph Mao, Benjamin Berenger, Mael Sean Perrier, Stephanie Oliva Pena, Haley Catherine Miller, Dylan Allister, Brandon Salvatore Griffin, Parker Andrew Nethercutt, Rocco William Rousseau, Derek Roman Rayberger, Madeline Eve Mazurik, Audrey Elizabeth Johnson, Eva Marie Hobson, Sai Nivedita Pagadala, Shay Marissa Rathbun, Sohee Bang, Yujin Jun, Baker Ahmed Salahat, Taylor Elise Chevalier, Ryan B. Kill, Jeremy Miles Gann, Kobe Edward Borda, Benjamin Warner Ekman, John Christian Prohaska II, Alan Pickett, Jake Mackenzie Poppy, Vincent Michael Dobbins, Kyandra Elise Peart, Donovan Markel Henderson, Everett James Robert Summers, Ma Ruwei, Oliver Brian Vidston, Jack Patrick Langan, Ralph Kindler, Jake Alexander Curry, Jacob Matthew Bottomley, Alexander Zaid Abiodun Ali, Edwin Zapote, Siddharth Nair, Hei Ji Chang, Jayesh Agarwal, Raghav Grover, Rena Singh, Cole Harrison Mooney, Pei Sien Tan, Emily Grace Tan, Ashley Renee Smith, Amari Sherry Murray, Miyang Mbele Tamanji, Morgan Alexandria Wright, Taj Lowe, Kenta Yagyu Davis, Ilona Coronado, Sarah Renee McDowell Zach, Melissa Usbaler, Nicholas Michael Samaritano, Hannah Pavour, Sawyer Johnson Flanagan, Daniel Robert Johnson, Shalini Moa, Jesus Gomez, Kunal Aditya Mohapatra, Maitri Mohan, Jonathan Andrew Johnson, Jenny L. Lyon, Landon Jeffrey Schultz, Kenneth Jackson Parker, Mohammed Adel Kusa, Wolfgang Buchmeyer Jr., Jenna Haley McPherson, Param Shah, Ronit M. Shaw, Braden James Rainey, Liam Tejas Nimit Desai, Cynthia L. Wong, Natalie Ng, Paula Nicole Colon Ortiz, Isabella Eugenia Calandriello Rivers, Eliza Zavala Gonzalez, Nicole Proudfoot Aguilar, Harrison Paul Zinzer, Donovan Jules Lobo, Fernando Andres Sands, William Enger, Mac Grass, Megan Brooke Dufresne, Benjamin David Farrell, James Edward Swope, William Frederick Allen, Adam Eli Mualim, Patrick Eugene McMillan, John Paul Angelo Caprera, Jackson Ryder Pettigrew, Samuel August Nobby, Amy J. Ritter, Xiao Hang Chu, Bo Han Ju, Nao Twin Pham, Charles Cook, Gregory Runlin Zhang, Ashley Kwan, Catherine Fay, Madhuriya Gajula, Pujan Raval, Aman Kaneja Kool, Camden Curtis Kallstrom, Benjamin Kent Espy, Daniel Kent Lewis, Dylan Conrad Walters, Emma L. Hansen, Olivia Christine Arneson, Brett Douglas Baxter, Eddie Youngbin Cha Yoon, Amog Melicharuvu, Dinyar Islam, Kevin Agostino, Grayson Alexander Haskey, Lucas Lujia Shang, Andrea Lee, William Vaden Formisano, Benjamin Lyle Melville, Neil Gardner Austinson, Cassia Fadiva, Keon Zarboff, Joseph Matthew Jamini, Griffin Jorda, Eleanor Spencer Smith, James Gordon Farmer III, Isabella Vita Hernandez, Sean Lamar Ingram Jr., Krista Lo Pan Shreve, Yun Tao Liu, Michael Cho, Sophia Jane DeSisto, Michael Allen Wise, Joseph Arthur Canaday, Kriti Naganuri, Krishna Kumar, Zainab Sarah Coker, Laura Orjaner, Jason Hill Allen, Jawad Khan, Jesse Tu, Gary Scheibe Thomas, Lillian Wright Henselder, Claire Sarah Lin, Samuel Unping Jing, Daniel John Palladino Jr., Alexander Harris, Lokranjan Lakshmikanthan, Harish Murali, Keegan Alexander Million, Bridget Joan Duckworth, Rio Robertson, John Frederick Wheeler, Sabi Agarwal, Rahul Pradeep, Simon Shen, Rushab Shah, Chamia Salich, Connor Chance Talley, Anirudh Kaundinya Sharma Gatu, Dominique Cecile Rever Michaud, Samuel Peng Luong, Jeffrey Liu Pan, Shi Lei Zhu, Zakai Wang, Saha Sundar Yechuri, Austin J. Toro, Alita Sunil, Annabelle Grace Fink, Rafael Maizonavi de Oliveira, Miguel Zadorozny Silva, Thalmus Jalen McDowell, Aaron Ohm, Gayong Gabby Nam, Ming Soon Jong, Luke Chen, Yi Fan Wang, Samuel Lee Ng, David Hun Tran, Scott McIntyre Baker, Aaron Tan, Reagan Aaron Mary Cox, Allison Hebert, Taylor Kate Boyette, Tuelo Rapot Sanyane, Ireolua Tiolowanami Adaramola, Eva Nangalwa Nertoft, Kendall Ray Arnold, Alejandro Porcella, Andres Mauricio Nolasco Pozo, Ana Cristina Herrera Heinzen, Joel Joseph Dabul, Saralina Reynoso Hache, Irma Blanca Caba Sanchez, Junghyun Lee, Anya Sahani, Jonathan Taylor Wilson, William Shu, Akil Kassam, Fernando Rodriguez Jr., Eric Shi, Jay Yao, Benjamin Edward Hanfland, Braden Jenks, Bracken Dong, Jad Darazim, Elijah Hermitha Foglio, Collins McClure Sherrill, Carlos A. Gonzalez, Tyler Chance Linder, Ryan Patrick Carney, Marshall Alexander Baxter, Nicholas Joseph Broadway, Luke Marion Eckenrod, Charles Loring Trimble, Nathan Christopher Rock, Trayvon D. King, Jemiah London Campbell, Makisa A. Simmons, Noah R. Holloway, Jing Yue Lee, Yi Xiao Hu, Madeline Ballou,
Jiang Mao,
All right. As I promised, here are the magic words. Will all graduates please rise? Wait, 1 second. Just 1 second. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology and by authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer upon each of you the degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Now, graduates, to symbolize your achievement, you may move the tassel on your mortarboard from the right to the left. Congratulations, class of 2023. So now one last request. I ask that the graduates remain standing as our party recesses. Then I invite you all to sing the best fight song of all time, the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. Graduates should remain at their seat until the conclusion of the Ramblin' Wreck. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Okay.
Oh, may we be united till the victory of life is won. Oh, sons of arise, behold, the banner as it raves to meet, for from on high the white and gold waves in its triumphant gleam. The spirit of the cheering throng resounds with joy, revealing a brotherhood in praise and song, in memory of days gone by. O Scion of the Southland, in our hearts we shall forever fly. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of 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 an engineer. A tall the pillows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. Oh, if I had a daughter, sir, I'd dress her in white and gold and put her on the campus. And if I had a son, sir, I'd tell you what he'd do. He would get up to hell with Georgia like his daddy used to do. Oh, I wish I had a bell around 50,000 pounds. A college bell to put it in, and it's always turn around. I drink to all the fellows who come from Harley. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer.
Thank you for attending Georgia Tech's fall commencement. Families will meet their graduate outside the stadium. Students, you're going to be exiting through either the tunnels or behind the stage. Guests, you can head to Main, West, and Benatar entrance. Thanks so much and have a great day.